I was working out in the yard this last week and I hit my head on something and cut it. There was blood everywhere. There's nothing like a crisis, like cutting your head, that makes you run for help. And I did, and I ended up going to urgent care and got it taken care of. Where do you go when you are in crisis? Where do you go now in the midst of a COVID epidemic and everything else that is going on in our lives? Well, I hope you go to the Bible, because you see, the Bible is written for times of crisis because it comes out of crisis in people's lives. It's the stories of God interacting with us, with these Bible characters in difficult times. And the main question that is asked in these stories that we read is simply the question, is this character, whoever that might be, is that person going to trust God? Is he going to continue to have faith in God? Is he going to follow? Is he going to obey? Is he going to trust? Or she? Is she going to trust and obey? Well, for instance, Jonah, it took him 2 times, 2 tries to obey and to trust and to follow God, and involved a whale in the midst, or a large fish at least, in the midst of all of this. David, another Bible character, as a young man was full of faith. And in the midst of the most difficult, trying times, he defeated Goliath. He trusted God. He had faith in God. When Saul was chasing him, David had immense faith in God. But then later on, at the face of temptation as an older man, he fell and he didn't trust God like he should have. And yet God worked with David. Gideon, he was so scared by the circumstances that he hardly had any faith at all. And yet God used him powerfully. And Moses kept trying to get out of what he felt God was calling him to do. But God was persistent, and God didn't give up on Moses. And Moses eventually came around, even in the midst of crisis. And he trusted God. So I take great comfort in this. I take great comfort in these Bible characters and these Bible stories of God interacting with these people, because you see, I see myself in them. Very human. We want to trust. We want to have no doubt at all. We want to be strong. But in crisis, sometimes we fail. We lack strong faith, and our fears tend to overwhelm us. Now, the good news that I read in the Bible again and again and again is that God is persistent, and that God is patient, and that God works with us. God worked with these Bible characters. God did not give up on them, and God will not give up on us either, even though you and I fail at times and lack trust. And so, if God doesn't give up on us, let us be persistent in our faith. Let us get up today. It is a new day. Philippians 1 says this, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." So God isn't giving up on you. Today is a new day, a perfect day to start anew, to rekindle your faith, to say to God, yes, I trust in you anew today. Trust God with your life and start today. Have a wonderful week.